is how we can make $15,000 from 10 untapped faceless niches that are shockingly simple to create. So let's dive in right away. The first niche here, this channel is very good. It's called Professor Staying. It talks about various stuff that I explained by a gamer dad, and the way they are doing it, it's very simple. They're using mostly explanation layovers and with voiceovers that are very captivating. But I want you to look at the consistency when it comes to how the titles are created. Titles are mostly about world war, mysteries, CIA, different kinds of things that happened that are well known in history. So it's a history channel, but they have these explanations that are laid out in a very much more captivating way. Also, when you come to the thumbnails, there are consistent. There are those characters that are put on the thumbnails, and they are laid out with 4 columns and 2 rows, which is something quite consistent when you look at most of their videos, and they're doing well. When you look at the funds that they are getting, the channel is getting over $15,000, which is in between $16,000 to $48,000, which is quite good. The history niche is very good because it has a high revenue per mil. So when you go into such videos, you want also to have that consistency with the thumbnails, but also you want to bring captivating stories, and you want the narrations to be quite captivating. You want people to stay on your videos for longer. So you take time to create the videos, which is very important and can allow you to have a better revenue per mil for these videos. The other channel that we have on the list, it's about facts. When you look at this channel, Beyond Facts, they've done quite a good number of videos, 105 videos with 81 million views. This is insane. When you look at what they're doing, I've analyzed the thumbnails. The thumbnails really tell a story because they are quite mostly about the military, but the elements that they portray out, even with other thumbnails, they are very catchy. How the elements are laid out onto the screen, but even the topics that they're talking about the US government, they're talking about nuclear weapons, submarines. They're quite captivating stories because not most of the people really know facts about these stories. But so when you bring them with titles that are really catchy and thumbnails that are on point, you can be able to recreate such a channel. You can rent out the services of the videos because you may not have time to create these videos that are captivating and well edited. You can rent out the services on Fiverr, and you can zero down on making the thumbnails even much more better and selection of the titles. The other channel that we have in this list is called Good Enough. I brought it out because they're doing quite well. They have a huge amount of subscribers, and what they have 119 videos, and they have an insane amount of views, which is 139 million views. They're doing quite well, but the way they are doing these videos, it's simple. It's simple to create. They have zeroed down to rating out the services of an artist who creates these captivating layovers of images that they lay over the videos that they explain. So the explanations are coupled with the emotions that are in the images, which is quite captivating, and they're getting an insane amount of views. When you look at the sequence of their posting, they're not even posting videos on a daily basis. So that means you can outcompete this channel. It's doing well. So when it comes to the thumbnails, you don't have to really reinvent the wheel. When it comes to the style or the topics of that are selected for the videos and how you lay out the titles, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You use the very same style. What I can tell you, if you're going into this niche, you don't want to copy these exact titles. You want to formulate titles that are similar, maybe similar to the topics. You want to maintain the style of the thumbnails because it's doing quite well. They are getting over some videos are even getting this video was created 2 months ago. It has 1.5 million views. The latest one 3 weeks ago, it has 400 and 2,000 views. The videos are doing quite well. So you want to bring your viewers to topics that are very exciting, but also instigating, topics that they've never heard, or topics that they're anticipating, given the study of these very existing topics that you see here. So I believe this is one of the channels that you can emulate. It's doing quite well, and it's getting the videos are getting over $15,000, which is really quite easy. And I believe they're even making more because they have an insane amount of views. You can make the videos even much more longer. When you look at their videos, they're averaging over I can say 15 minutes of view length. So you can make the videos quite longer to outcompete them, or even make better narrations. Let's go to this one. This one is called Dear Old Britain, and what they're doing, they're mostly doing about videos that bring back the memories of things that happened in the past in Britain. So it is really focused on the viewer audience of people, older people who are in Britain, and we know that all that demographics is really good. People always want to sell to them, so the revenue per mil for this is going to be very high because they are history videos, but mostly talking about various things like foods, people wanted to eat, prices of foods and things that happened. It's really quite simple, but you can also see the consistency. Their texts, the way they are laid out, they are captivating to the people who want to watch the video. So when you are going into such a niche, you want to do proper research of the things that are very captivating, things that people used to love, how they were done, things that were not done right, things that created controversies. You want to emulate the style of how they are also writing their thumbnail, their titles, which is really quite well. So with that emulation and with getting very good videos, when it comes to the compilations, you are going to nail this niche in a much more better way. The other niche that I looked at, they have a very small amount of videos, but they're already monetized because when you look at some of these videos, they were created some months ago, but one video has over 1.7 million views and the other has over 500,000 views. The thumbnails are quite simple. I wanted you to look at this and I wanted you to learn something. When you are trying to do thumbnails and you want to create thumbnails that tell a story, you want them to be captivating, like this thumbnail, which really has one text, Trump, and they're showing a car that is laid out on one side of the road and other cars on the other side, which quite tells a story. And when you look at the title, the titles are quite short and simple. So the style is new, but even the way they tell their stories is good. So when you are going into such a niche, you want to post daily. When you look at these videos, they have not been able to create videos in the recent months. So when you are going into such a niche, you want first of all to rent the services of someone who's going to make the videos for you. They make quite a huge number of videos so that you can schedule them and post them frequently. The frequency is going to get the algorithm to love you and keep on running your videos, which is quite important. You want to keep in the face of the algorithm. So as you keep in the face of the algorithm, you're going to get these ads on your video when you're finally monetized, and such a channel can really make you some good money. When you go into this niche, it's quite amazing. They have done 15 videos. The channel says it's doing videos mostly about neighborhoods and things that happened in those neighborhoods. It's called Respect the Streets. When you look at their consistency when it comes to thumbnails, they have that text that is really captivating, exclusive, which is a white text with a red background, but they also have a consistent black text that is laid out at the back, and the characters of the people that are in the videos, which are mostly gang videos. So this channel is really talking about various incidents that happened in the hoods, crimes that were committed by the gangs, gang wars, and how they fought. So it is mostly narrations of events that happened in various areas and in various cities. And when you look at such videos, people want to know about them because they are coming from these areas, and mostly they know about these gangs that are in these areas. So when you're doing such videos, you want to really bring factual stories, things that happened in those areas, but also you want the voiceovers to be captivating and even quite longer. When you're looking at this channel, some videos, there isn't that consistency when it comes to the view duration. Some videos are 11 minutes longer, 12, 20. You want to have that consistency. You can make them even 20 minutes longer, but I believe when you are doing such videos, they are going to be very, very lucrative. I believe this channel is even making more. I believe it's making over $20,000 because their videos are very, very captivating. You can see like in 15 minutes they have already done over 400,000 views, which is quite insane. So when you're jumping into such a channel, you want to do your research, you want to do the research, and you want to jump in with factual stories that are going to blow up. But the consistency matters. When you look at the schedule of these videos, this one was posted 13 days ago, 8 days ago, 4 days ago, 2 days ago. You want to do quite a huge number of videos, and you want to post maybe legendary to out compete such channels that are already performing well and they're catching on in terms of the views. You want to outcompete them, but the only way you outcompete them is by also making good videos and outposting them, or even making thumbnails with emotions that outbeat the emotions that they are putting out. The other channel that I put out is called Paint Explainer. This one is good. It's quite good. What they have done over 124 videos, and they have 213 million views, which is quite good. But I want you to look at what stands out. What could be the determinant factor why they are getting this insane amount of views? I want you to look at the intensity of the emotions that are in the thumbnails, because what they are doing is what even other channels are doing. But I want you to look at the intensity of the emotions that are in these thumbnails. It is quite huge, and it is storytelling. This is what you want to zero down to. When you are making thumbnails, you want these thumbnails to tell a story and to really align with your title. And when people get to click on your video, you want to give them what you promised in the thumbnail and in the title. Those three elements, if you can nail those, then you can have quite something that goes for you in a niche like this. When you look at their videos, they are making in between $60,000 to $181,000, which is quite huge and insane. The average view duration of 13 minutes is also quite longer. That means the videos are very, very captivating. So you want to look at such a channel, you see how they are doing and how you can do something that is maybe quite similar, or even tell stories that are quite different but also captivating, but with stories that bring out controversies of things that happened in the past, and how you can tell these stories even in a much more better way. I believe it's one of the easiest niches that you can venture into. This one is called Notora. Notora is also quite simple. What they are doing with these videos, they are mostly bringing out stories of how ChatGPT is responding to different kinds of questions. But I noticed the videos are very, very short. So you want to have some kind of creativity when it comes to these videos. When you are doing these videos, you want these videos to be about certain topics. Let's say you can choose a topic like, or you can choose a niche like a relationship niche, and you can really put out these questions and get responses from ChatGPT about various issues that are plaguing people in relationships. But you also want to do the videos and you want to make them quite longer. I believe this is one of the most easiest niches that you can go into, and you can make quite a huge sum of money. They have just made 22 videos, and they have 1.8 million views, which is quite insane. So here, what you're going to captivate on is doing longer videos, because their videos are averagely 2 minutes, which is quite shorter. You want to do videos that are 10 minutes longer, because with 10 minutes longer, YouTube has the capacity to include various ads in your video and for you to make even much more money. But also you want the stories to be captivating, to touch something. Like I told you, you can choose another niche that is captivating about life stories, but I believe a relationship niche can do better when it comes to such videos, and you can combine the responses and how they are editing the videos with the relationship niche to make it your own and put out videos that are really captivating and can earn you a huge amount of money. So this one also, it is quite good. They have a it's a narration kind of channel. Everything Professor, they're explaining things about mostly life and normal day things. They have an insane amount of views, 7.3 million views in 24 videos. When you look at the consistency of their thumbnails, I always talk about the thumbnails because thumbnails and titles are key to someone clicking on your video. If they're not good, nobody's going to really click on your video. They are going to shun your videos because they don't seem quite captivating and they're not calling. When you look at the consistency in the thumbnails, they're quite consistent. They're showing these elements that are circled, and they are consistent with the thumbnail text and where they place it. It is on the top of each of the thumbnails, but the consistency strikes out very, very well. But also the simplicity when it comes to doing these videos, you are going to have to get the services of someone who is on Fiverr to make these videos for you, because you may not be able to make the videos and the animations quite well and bring them out well. But you also want to pick topics that are really captivating. People want to know about facts of things that plague them. People want to know about things that can make them better where they're not doing well. You want these videos to tell stories. It's very important for you to do that. So you want to take your time in picking out titles and topics that are going to really captivate people, but also you want to make the selection of the people who are going to work on your videos quite well, so that they do very good videos that will captivate people, keep them on the channel even much more longer. When you look at the estimated earnings, which I believe are even more, they are getting over $27,000, which is quite good. And I believe this is one of the faceless niches that you can go into and venture into in a much more better way. So this is our last niche. It is quite good. When you look at this niche, they have over 146 subscribers. They have 51 videos, and they're making over 12.2 million views, which is quite insane. What they're doing, they are bringing hacker stories to life, and they're doing this with animated 3D videos with narrations of these stories. But I want you to look at something. I always talk about the thumbnails. I want you to look at something. I want you to look at the consistency that is with these thumbnails. The thumbnails are really, really captivating. Look at them. I want you to look at the thumbnails. They have that action that is happening. There is an action that is happening in the thumbnails with the 3D characters, but also the way they have put out the text. They have this white text, and it is the text appears on over one of the characters. Most of the thumbnails have a white text and a red background, but also a black background on the other text and the emotion of something that is happening. People want thumbnails that tell a story. You want to tell that story vividly well, so that people get to know what could be inside the video. They get a sneak peek of what the video could be about. You want to tell that story very well, and you want to connect that story with the title. It is very important. The title has to tell the same story, like what the story that is being told in the video, which is what is done quite very well when it comes to these videos, and they are getting an insane amount of views. When you want to create these types of videos, you can go to Fiverr, rent out the services of someone who's doing these kinds of videos. You can do these kinds of videos, I believe, at a cost of $30 per video. Or if you want even much more better engaging videos, you can hire services of someone who is quite expensive but good in telling stories for at a fee of $50 per video. And you want to emulate the style of these thumbnails perfectly, but also the stories have to be captivating. Your scripts, they need to be captivating for people to watch on and watch on and watch on. When you look at this channel, which is Black Files, they're getting in between $9,000 to $23,000. I believe the money is even more because they're getting an insane amount of views, and the channel keeps on growing. You see this video that was released 11 hours ago, it already has 37,000 views, and I believe the views are going to keep on increasing and increasing, even for these other videos. So what they are doing, it is mostly a crime related kind of channel, which is telling stories in a unique way. Uniqueness is very much more important when it comes to creating videos, and you want to emulate such a channel with maybe doing stories that are more captivating, but emulate the style of the thumbnails and make sure the narrations are done in a way that is really captivating to keep people watching for a longer time. I'm going to call upon you. If you've missed subscribing to our videos, you're missing out on something very important. You may not be able to get daily updates of the new videos that we put out every day, but I'm going to call upon you to please check your subscription button. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel so that you get access to the videos. We promise you that we are going to bring you videos on a daily basis to give you a variety of the faceless niches that you can go into and be able to earn money. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video.